The Tower of Babel, a reflection on unity, pride, and God's plan. What would it be like if everyone spoke the same language? Imagine the possibilities, the ease of communication, the potential for global unity. But what if that unity was built on pride and defiance of God? Genesis 11 opens with a world united by a single language and a shared purpose. This unity, however, becomes the foundation for a project driven by human ambition rather than divine guidance. They decide to build a tower that reaches to the heavens, a monument to their own greatness. This tower wasn't just about architectural achievement, it was a symbol of human pride and a desire to make a name for themselves. They sought to avoid being scattered across the earth, defying God's earlier command to fill the earth. Genesis 9:1. Their ambition was to create a centralized power independent of God. God, seeing their pride and the potential for unchecked human ambition, intervenes. He confuses their language, making it impossible for them to understand each other. This act of divine intervention brings their project to a halt. The confusion of languages leads to the scattering of humanity across the earth, fulfilling God's original intention. The city, once a symbol of unity and human achievement, becomes known as Babel, meaning confusion. This event marks a significant turning point in human history. The story of the Tower of Babel offers several important lessons for us today. It reminds us of the dangers of pride and the importance of humility before God. Human unity, when divorced from God's will, can lead to disastrous consequences. The story also highlights God's sovereignty and his ultimate control over human affairs. Even in the face of human rebellion, God's plan prevails. He uses the confusion of languages to accomplish his purpose of filling the earth. The chapter concludes with the genealogy of Shem, one of Noah's sons. This genealogy traces the lineage down to Abram, who would later be known as Abraham. This lineage is significant because it sets the stage for God's covenant with Abraham and the beginning of the nation of Israel. Through Abraham, God would bless all nations of the earth, Genesis 12:3. The scattering at Babel, though a consequence of human sin, ultimately paved the way for God's redemptive plan. God's promise to Abraham offers hope and a path to reconciliation with him. The story of Babel challenges us to examine our own lives. Are we building towers of pride, seeking to elevate ourselves above others and even above God? Are we pursuing unity at the expense of obedience to God's word? Let us learn from the mistakes of those who built the Tower of Babel. Let us strive for humility, obedience, and a desire to fulfill God's purpose in our lives. Let us seek unity, not in defiance of God, but in submission to his will. Take some time this week to reflect on the story of the Tower of Babel. Read Genesis 11 again and consider its implications for your own life. Pray for humility and a desire to align your will with God's will. Share this video with someone who might benefit from its message, and let's together strive to build our lives on a foundation of faith and obedience, not pride and self-reliance.